Howdy, folks. Thanks for watching. Um, got a story about, one of my trips to Long Beach Airport. Um, Long Beach is a little bit different than the other airports. Um, it has a unique way of the way you drop off passengers and pick up passengers. Well, anyway, I was coming from Orange County into Long Beach to drop a Japanese family at Long Beach Airport. Well, the thing is, they didn't speak any English, and they're in an alien environment and everything like that, so they're a little bit stressed. It was mom and dad and two girls, young girls, probably under 10 years old. So anyway, I come, and my dispatcher was harping at me on the Nextel phone, which the Nextels were awesome. An awesome system that was bought by Sprint, and then Sprint just got bought by somebody else. I don't know where they disappeared to. But anyway, I come cruising in to Long Beach Airport, and I've got this Japanese family in the car. And Japanese people are very, very polite, and they're kind of soft-spoken, and by American standards, are timid. But I know they're not when it comes down to it. But anyway, I come into Long Beach Airport, and I go around to the inside loop, which is where you drop people off. And there's this guy on the middle island who is just nuclear, blown up, blah 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 blah, yelling at me. I'm in a black town car, and my dispatcher, I don't know why he did this. He gave him my car number. The dispatcher gave him the car number before I could tell him that I had dropped. So here's this guy that's fuming. I guess he'd been waiting for, I don't know how long, out on the center island for me to show up. Well, I'm still on the freeway. So anyway, this guy is ranting and raving and storming, blah, 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 blah. And I go around to the inside, and I tell the guy, my thing is I always point at people so they know I'm talking to them exactly. And I said, you need to wait on that corner. I can't pick you up here because I will get a ticket. And he's trying to storm into the car. I had to lock the doors so that my passengers are safe. So finally he went back over to the island, and I went out and did my procedure, open my door, go around, open the trunk, open the door, go back to the trunk, and that guy's still waiting. So anyway, I drop off my passengers, and I apologize to them for him, which it's not an ego thing, I don't care. So anyway, this guy is still waiting. I have to drive around the loop to go back to the inside. So I get the car buttoned up and say thank you, and Japanese don't necessarily tip all the time. It's a cultural thing, I don't care. So I go around and come back to the inside or the outside loop, which is where we're supposed to pick up. Well, I left the doors locked because this guy was beyond ballistic. So I get out of the car, and I'm standing there, and he comes walking over. He acts like he's gonna get into a fist fight with me. So I'm doing this, keeping the car between him and I. And he's like, I'm not taking the ride. And I'm this, that, and the other. And I'm like, dude, just get in the car. Just get in the car. And like 6 cops. This is how irate this guy was. 6 cops are coming this way. I'm like, if you don't get in the car, you're going to get arrested. You know, nothing's going to happen to me. He's going to get arrested because he's just beyond reasonable about anything. So I said, get in the car. So he gets in the back seat of the car, and I wasn't going to close the door for him. I'm not going to go over there and put myself in harm's way. So this guy gets in the car. I get in the car. Make sure that it's him. Of course, it's obvious it's him because my dispatcher gave him the number of the car before I had dropped. So anyway, I go around the loop, which is around used to be a McDonnell Douglas monoplane in a piston engine helicopter. So I go around the loop and I pull over there, and this guy's still ranting and raving. And I'm like, where do you need to go? And he's like, Laguna Niguel. I'm like, oh crap. I had to have this guy in my car. This is what's going through my head. So I pull over and I tell him straight out, I don't care how mad you are, how much you yell, this, that, or the other. You touch me, I will dump you on the freeway. Period. And he shut up. Just like that. Because I wasn't mad, I wasn't angry, I wasn't being defensive or anything. I just told him the facts. Dude, you touch me, don't touch me. Don't lean forward, don't touch me. I will get you to where you need to go. So, we get on the freeway, and he's still upset. I can feel the heat radiating off him. And I'm a fairly smooth driver, fast and smooth. Business executives like fast and smooth. Or the high-powered ones. Some are easy to scare. But anyway, he was not one of those. So, we get on the freeway, and I'm normally in California you're going 80 miles an hour. I'm going 80 miles an hour in the carpool lane, and he's still fuming and huffing and puffing and in that time period I don't know how texty people were, but he got kind of quiet. And I just basically ignored him and I drove the best I could. You know, you don't tailgate people, you don't change lanes all the time or anything like that. I have a pattern that I would follow, and I would do the same thing at the same spot all the time. That way, if something goes wrong, you know exactly what to do. That's just part of driving. If you don't do that, then you're not a very good or smart driver. So anyway, we get all the way down to Laguna Niguel. He starts talking. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do this, that. It's been a long day. I came here from the East Coast, somewhere Boston or something like that. And he's making all these apologies and this, that, and the other. And so anyway, towards the end, apparently he went a little bit overboard. And we started chatting, and he said, are you a born-again Christian, and this, that, and the other? I don't think that's stupid, you guys. It's, whatever somebody's religion is, I am fine with it, because any kind of religion generally makes you a better person, in my opinion. So, anyway, he started talking about this, that, and the other, and what he does, and I don't remember what he does. Anyway, we got down to his house, and he says, well, I need a prayer. We need to pray together, so I feel like you don't hate me and that you forgive me. And I was like, okay, you know. So he put his hands on my shoulders, and he said the prayer, and $40 tip, and the ride was $49. So, or 49 or 59. This is back then. It's about $1 a minute. Is what it used to work out to. So anyway, that's my other transportation story. And I'm sure there's plenty of other drivers or stories to tell, but I've had a couple were relatively unique. I never drove that guy ever again, but he sure gave a good tip for that trip, and for as angry as he was, I was expecting not to get a tip, but I'm not going to change the way I drive just because I had this expectation. And Oh my goodness. Anyway, have a good night. Thanks for watching my video, and I'm trying to remember more. That I've done a bunch of different types of stuff. So if you've made it this far in the video, I have done fire system testing. I've done paratransit. I won't talk about my current job because I'm not going to talk about my current job. And I've done town cars, and that's about it. So anyway, I'll eventually run out of the stories, but paratransit was actually some pretty funny stuff. Anyway, excuse me, I don't know why I'm all burpy today. But anyway, that's that. And have a good night, and drive careful.